What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today on the left side here, we have Dinomorphia going up against the Mimighoul pile that we did see. Both these players are currently undefeated at the regionals. This is going to be the second last round, which is why we saw both of these players top here. Before we dive in, over to like, comment, subscribe, host channel a lot. We are going to be seeing the Mimighoul player start off first, having the heavy advantage by activating a copy of Mimighoul Maker here, which is going to be able to search for two of them here, and then summon one of them to our opponent's side of the field, and then one to our hand. I do want to apologize for the glare. I didn't, unfortunately, set up the camera. I don't get to choose where the camera gets set up there, but we see a copy of Cerberus and a dragon, I believe, or an Archfiend and a dragon. But we are going to be seeing a die roll happen, choosing which one they're going to be summoned. And they do add the Archfiend to the hand, and they set the Cerberus there. We're going to normal summon the Archfiend, which is going to be flip up with a copy of the Cerberus, which is going to banish the top three cards of their deck, I believe. And then they'll be able to summon one to their opponent's side of the field. So we see Judgment, and Theresia there, which means we're going to be able to take the Theresia. That was very lucky. Normally you don't actually get a hit off that in a Dinomorphia deck, but we see two Judgments being gone from the deck, which is going to be very dreadful for us. And we see a copy of their Arfdao going to be played, letting us search for a copy of a dragon, so having now access to all three Mimighoul monsters in our deck, because we're not playing Maker here. If you haven't seen this Mimighoul deck profile, definitely check it out. It's on the channel from the regionals. We're going to be seeing a normal summon of the copy of Dragon here. So having access to all the Mimighoul monsters is very nice. It's going to let us search for a copy of the Dungeon. So maybe already having the Trap card in the hand, we're going to be activating the effect of Dungeon. And I'm going to be assuming that we're going to try to go up into the copy of the Rabbit, starting to try to want to pop those back rows when we do summon the copy of the Azrael Trap. I know we are playing it. I definitely think that you guys should check out that if you guys are interested in this deck at all. But yeah, it also gives Mimighoul like weird stat lines, making them gain stuff, making them pretty big as well. But we do link up into. Now we go up into an IP. Maybe an IP Rabbit. Like they do know they are playing against Dinomorphia, especially now because they didn't mill those cards. You know, pretending before they didn't. They're going to set the copy of the Trap, the Azrael with the Rabbit, which is going to be popping an additional card here. And this can pop two cards from the opponent if they do end on a copy of the IP and go up into something else. So it's kind of important to note that like when you are playing against certain decks like Dinomorphia, when you are able to like swerve into kind of a blowout, you know, destruction of two cards, it can be quite useful there. And we do link up into, I'm assuming, the second copy of the Rabbit, or not the Rabbit, but the IP. Now we do see that there. And then we're going to be going for the Cerberus to summon itself into the opponent's side of the field. And then we're going to go Talents to draw two. Interestingly, we choose not to rip the hand, and we set two cards here, and simply pass turn on that. So, you know, we're not going to the normal or special summon while we control that copy of Archfiend, but do we really want to flip it face up? We're going to see a copy of Duality. And we see a Duality, a copy of Domain, and a Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig is a 1-of in the deck. It's definitely not a card you want to be drawing. And if you guys are interested in the Dinomorphia deck, that's also on the channel here from the regionals. Both players topped. Very good players there. Shout out to both of them for being a good sport. But we are going to be seeing... It's going to be very hard for Dinomorphia to get a comeback on this. We see set 2, set 3, set 4, set 5, and we are setting a spell there as well. Maybe we're trying to protect it because we know that once we activate the cards, like with the Azrael here, we're going to be popping with the Rabbit here. We do pop a copy of Call with the Grave, definitely a good option to pop. You don't want to be getting your cards Call with the Grave. We're going to link up and down to IP into SP, and then SP is going to be banishing a card, and we're just choosing them randomly, going for the copy of Ice Dragon's Prison here, but we got rid of 2 out of 5 there, so just picking down those cards very easily. Now, Ice Dragon's Prison is going to be a little bit of a better card than we obviously Call with the Grave, but if we could hit a copy of like Domain, it would be quite nice as well. We're going to be seeing a draw here, and then now we are going to find ways to think. I don't believe they were playing Access Code, but we can now get to see, we're going to go Dungeon Effect, going to let us search for a copy of a Mimighoul monster, adding it back from the graveyard. Then we normal summon the Archfiend, which is going to flip up the opponent's Archfiend, and that's going to activate the effects. And we see a Ferret Flame as well, but that's not going to be doing very much unless we start activating these effects right here, like Dinomorphia, Domain, paying half our life points, bringing us down to 4,000. And then like the Fire Frenzy, whatever it is, the Fire Ferret Flame Trap, we'll be able to shuffle those cards back if we get low enough into life points. But we are going to be sending the copy of the Diplos as well as the copy of Theresia, going up into the copy of the Ketagina most likely. But we are going to be seeing the Archfiend flip up the other Archfiend. We're going to go for the Ketagina, then we're going to flip up the copy of the Archfiend, and then we're going to activate the effects. We activate Ketagina to banish, to then use. So bringing us down to 2,000. And we imperm that copy of Ketagina, which is going to be leaving it now at the 4K body that it is, though. So it's going to be having quite a hard time to beat over that there. Maybe we're trying to rely on an SP to banish it, but at the same time, you know, making Rexstrom not come out is going to be pretty impactful. So right on 2,000, we're going to go Trap Tricks here. And it is in the imperm column. That is very rough. There's not much that they can do when it was set in the imperm column there. So you're going to see Trap Tricks resolve, unfortunately, negated by that imperm. Now, there's not much we could have done there. You know, it was just a card that we set. That was the only card that we could have activated there. At this point, like, you know, we were just kind of hoping that our opponent can't really play through it. We do have the Magician's Souls, which is going to be sending the copy of the Illusion of Chaos to summon itself out. And, like, the Fire Frenzy is not going to do anything for us because we still have that 2,000 life points left. So maybe we have to go battle phase and attack some stuff over. But we do see a send and then a draw. We go up into a Solemn, which we are playing the Axe Code package there for. You know, this is going to be able to bring back out the copy of the Magician's Souls. And then we're going to go up into the copy of the Access Code here. And then Access Code will be able to gain the attack of the Solemn, bringing it up to 53. And we're going to then activate the effect of the trap, popping the Ferret Flames. You know, they cannot respond. They could have done it on the Resolution. We do it again, popping it. And then we're going to be able to go battle phase. And we're going to be seeing the Ketagina activate, or we're going to see Ketagina activate effect when she's destroyed. And that's going to summon out one of the Diplos or the Theresias. It's going to resolve. They ask the attack points of the Axe Code. We're going to go up into the Diplos here. Diplos will then activate the effect, setting a trap, making them lose 500 attack as well, I believe, or 500 life as well, because we are down. We're going to dump the copy of the Intact, I believe. Take a second to read the trap. I think it's one that prevents battle damage from being occurred, just making that come 0. We're going to go up into, I don't even know what monster that is, a Unicorn here, spinning back that copy of the Diplos there, and we're just going to see them scoop it up. I mean, when we were watching the deck profile from Jordan here, he was telling us that Unicorn was very nice, being able to shuffle back those cards that when they hit the graveyard were triggering. And this is one of the opportunities that we get to see here directly, being able to shuffle back that copy of Diplo so that it doesn't give it another body here, which is going to be kind of huge. You know, it's also good against the Memento monsters, being able to shuffle back maybe a copy of Sleepy, therefore not being able to let us access the card here. And they are going to take a second to read the copy of, I think it was Cerberus there, or the Archfiend. But we do see the deck take it, you know, being able to pop twice in the turn 0. or turn 1 there for the opponent, and then being able to just take out those other cards with the copy of access code and having that imperm played perfectly into the column. Not much you could do there, honestly. You know, it just happened to be an unfortunate event, and if there was not the copy of imperm there, or I guess if they realized that the imperm was there and they did not activate the trap tricks, and most likely would have been popped with the access code as well anyways. So not much you can really do. It's fun. Unfortunately, it just is what it is when you put your traps in the wrong zones. When you're putting set 5 though, at the same time, it's like maybe you just want to put a Cobble of the Grave there when you know that there could be an imperm, so you know you could just chain it to a card quickly, and then that's going to be able to stop it. But I wonder if they chose to pop the cards that were not in the imperm zone. Like we saw another face down there. I wonder if they chose to not do that so that they would not have to worry about it. Maybe keeping that imperm zone clear. But I guess that's kind of just food for thought if you guys are going to be playing. Maybe you guys can think about that when you're playing imperm and popping their opponents back when they set 5 cards. But moving on to game number 2, we are going to be seeing Dinomorphia going to be able to choose to go first finally, which is going to give them an advantage here. You know, being able to set 5 and actually keep those set rather than destroying 2 of them during the end phase is going to be a little bit nice. But we see just a set 2 here, which is not going to be the best. We activate a copy of Pressure's Planet. People search for a Kashtira card, whether it be the Fenrir or the Unicorn. We're going to be going for that copy of Unicorn, which can then give us access to a birth, bringing back with the Unicorn 2 bodies in this case. We see the Unicorn is going to be special summoned here, and we are going to be striking here the effect. Okay, making us pay 15. Now, if we don't have the copy of Birth, which is the only copy that they play, it's going to be hard to get that body onto the field. So now we're going to be kind of relying on a normal summon or another engine. Now, I do see the Ash Blossom in the hand of the Dinomorphia player, but they do activate the effect of the Mimighoul Archfiend, setting it to their opponent's side of the field and setting 2 cards and passing. So we're going to be seeing one of them in the same column as the trap card, and we do have a card of Prosperity here, which is going to be a 1-of in the deck, you know, banishing to look at the top cards, and this could really change the tide of the game. Looks like we're going for more than 3. We're going for 6 here. Digging our deck for 6 cards. I wonder what the card we want to choose is going to be. We see it resolve. We see a Frenzy, Diplo, Theresia, a Judgment, a Double Judgment, and a copy of Duality here. So maybe wanting to choose a Frenzy. Or choosing the copy of Theresia, because Theresia can then set the Frenzy from the deck. And we see them shuffle back with Prosperity, which they aren't supposed to do. But they will just normal summon the Theresia, activating the effect. And we do have an imperm for that, though. I don't think they can chain Super Poly to this. But they do have an Iron Thunder, which is going to be negating that copy of imperm by paying half their life points. This will be repaired in game state, letting us search for the deck, making it so that we do not, fortunately, but we have a copy of Judgment as well for that copy of Iron Thunder. So we do see that, and we did shuffle back, unfortunately, there, but we're going to be going Battle Phase and Attack. We're going to set 2 and pass, leaving just the Ash in the hand. You sell that Mimighoul Archfiend set. We're going to be seeing a copy of Desire is going to be activated here. This is going to most likely definitely be hit that Ash Blossom. Make sure that you do not draw 2 cards here. That's going to be absolutely huge. We have 2 cards left in the hand, but can we beat the copy of the Trap? And then we're not going to be able to Judgment a Super Poly then because we obviously don't have a card in the hand. But we're going to be drawing for turn. Looks like we drew a copy of Frenzy. They're going to do a Battle Phase attack into a Genroku here, which is going to be a very interesting card if they do not know what their opponent is playing. We set an additional card and just pass turn on that. And now we're going to be passing turn again from the Mimighoul player. They're going to activate a copy of Frenzy, paying half their life points, bringing us down to, I don't even know anymore. I'll be keeping track with the live on both sides. We're going to dump the copy of Dinomorphia 3. We're going to go for a Yugiohtcg by dumping the copy of the Diplos and then the Stealth Dragon, or Stealth Bird. And then we can activate the Yugiohtcg effect, but they do have a copy of the Bestial on the copy of the Stealth Kragan, it looks like. They do chain an intact to negate and destroy by paying half their life points, of course. And then we see them scoop it up, admitting defeat, and going on to game 3. That was crazy. I mean, I don't know what the other cards in the hand was, but being able to just, like, Judgment the opponent's Iron Thunder, which is going to be negating your Imperm, is just huge. Essentially making it so that your opponent did just burn half their life points for absolutely no reason. Just letting an Imperm resolve is kind of crazy. But then again, at the same time, 3CS setting a trap from the deck, which is in a simplified game state, which can let them fuse for sure, definitely is going to be a play. You want to stop a fusion summon at that point, which is what we were doing. But we do see the game 3 going to be choosing who is going to moving on into the undefeated finals here. We are going to be having the Mimighoul player choose to go first, which means that the Dinomorphia player is going to be at a heavy disadvantage. We might be seeing a bunch of hand traps being put into the deck, or maybe even copies of Lava Golem to try to destroy those cards, getting rid of the copy of the Rabbit as well as the IP like we saw in the last game, which kind of was detrimental to destroying their board. Almost half of it gone just immediately there. We're going to be seeing a Dragon going to be normal summoned, activating the effect there, searching for the copy of the Maker. Then we're going to activate the Maker, going to be letting us search for a copy of Archfiend as well as the copy of Cerberus, and most likely going to be hoping to give our opponent that Cerberus there, which we do see. Then we summon with a copy of Archfiend and then activate the effect, flipping up the copy of Cerberus. We managed a Diplos here as well, hitting another trap, double trap, and a monster. We don't even play that many monsters. We're on a total monster count of 5 here. We see a copy of Dungeon going to be activating, searching our deck once again, most likely for a copy of the Dragon here, which we are going to be seeing. And then we have the bodies on the field now to go for that, what we saw, the combo, air quotes, that we saw last time. But we see a Cerberus as well being activated, putting it to our opponent's side of the field face down. Or an Archfiend, my bad. And then we're going to XYZ up into a copy of the Punishment, or whatever, the Crime guy, flipping up, and then we're going to be drawing a card as well, making our opponent discard a card, essentially hand looping, getting rid of that one of the Ferret Flames. We're then going to link up into a copy of the Rabbit. Rabbit will then set a copy of the Trap, and now we've gotten rid of one of their cards from the hand, and we plan to get rid of 2 of their traps. So essentially leaving them on 5 cards, destroying 2, leaving them on 3, which is going to be fairly important. And we're going to be activating the effect of the Magician of Chaos here, searching for a copy of Magician Souls and then putting it most likely at the top of the deck. We can then activate the Magician Souls, sending from the deck the copy of the Magician Souls. We're making sure that we do not put the top card in. We should look for a deck for that copy of the Magician Souls, the second copy there, making it so that our opponent has to guess if we put it back after all. But we're going to send out that copy of Magician Souls, and we're going to activate the Baldrake, banishing the Diplo, summoning itself out. And do we choose a draw here is a question. We're going to go Desires, tempting to draw 2 more. We're just going all gas here, and will it pay off? We're going to link away, not even opting to draw 2 more into that copy of IP. And we have the same setup as we did last time with other cards as well. And we just pass turn on this. So our opponent now has 5 cards in the hand, and they are going to be losing 2 of those traps to the Rabbit as well as the copy of the IP into SB. So you have to choose very carefully how they want to set them. They're going to set 5 here, and we do see once again the Rabbit and the Azul popping one. We're choosing from the right side, destroying a copy of Iron Thunder, essentially being a copy of a Negate. And then we're going to go IP up into a copy of the SB, banishing another card here. And we're going to choose to banish a copy of the Frenzy. That is an amazing hit for the Mimighoul player here. Dinomorphia is going to be at an extreme disadvantage, only having 3 of these traps left. They got rid of essentially of a Judgment and the Fusion card here. They're just praying at this point that they're going to have enough. We're going to be seeing the effect of the Rebellion, search for a copy of the Druis Worm, and we can go Mimighoul Dungeon, going to activate the effect, and we see a Judgment still in the back row there, searching for a copy of the Archfiend. They're going to be normal summon with the copy of the Dragon, activating the effect, going to let us search, and they ask what we know in the hand. We know a copy of Archfiend, and they're thinking if they want to let that summon be successful. They're going to Judgment the summon here, letting them not search for the copy of the Maker or the copy of the Trap. Paying half the life points, bringing them down to 4,000, and they still have a copy of Domain here, bringing them to 2,000, letting them Fusion summon into the copy of the Ketchagina, most likely turning the copy of Diplos and the Theresia. Now we do have a copy of the Druis Worm in the hand, so that's going to be most likely getting rid of that copy of Ketchagina. But we see it summoned out. And we are down to 2,000 here, very close to dying. But we see they're thinking about this. I mean, they can go up for an access code right away, but they most likely want to leave the copy of SP on the field. We go up into the Selene here. We saw the Magician Souls in the graveyard, so they are thinking about this now. And we choose to flip up the copy of Strike here. I thought it was a Ferret Flame, negating the effect of the Selene, bringing us down to 500 here. We have the Maker already, which can then put the copy of Dragon, and they have 500 life points left. If the Dragon successfully lands on their side of the field, they will be able to destroy it, and we actually can't even activate the effect of Maker. We only have 1 Mimighoul in the deck. That's going to be very good for the Dinomorphia player here, essentially going to be making it so that they cannot just set the Dragon to their side of the field, flipping it face up, destroying their copy of Ketchagina, and being able to go for a game. So we're going to be seeing a summon of the Nightmare Unicorn, activating the effect, pitching the copy of the Maker, to shuffle back the Ketchagina. We're going to be banishing the copy of the Frenzy with that copy of Ketchagina. They're going to chain a Druis Worm on a copy of, they have a Theresia and a Diplo. We're going to banish the Diplo here for this, summoning it out, and we're going to be dumping a copy of Theresia and the another Theresia here. To go for another Ketchagina. If we link away for a copy of the access code Chainlink 1, or Druis Worm Chainlink 1, access code Chainlink 2, and then they're going to be able to not respond because of the effect of access code is going to be the last thing on the chain, gaining the attack, and they can go battle phase and attack, and we see Mimighoul end up taking the win there, destroying those cards with a weird combo that we end up seeing, popping 2 with SP as well as the copy of the Rabbit, especially when we saw that the Trap card is going to be essentially useless there for us, but having us the ability to pop a back row was so crucial, we chose to keep it in, and it paid off very well in the game 3. Regardless, hope you guys watching the video. If you guys want to see any more of these decks, let me know in the comment section down below. We have a few more duels with the Mimighoul. We're just going to be trying to spread them out a little bit so you guys get your fix. And don't forget to stay safe. Peace.